Denny. I'm coming to you today to give you a quick version of my way of doing a zip into any kind of bag, and with the thanks to Ariana, she and the rest of you, we're going to do this. I'm right-handed. So what I've got here in front of me is a front and a back which I've already quilted with batting. I've got some lining and I've got a zip, which I always work with a zip that's longer than I need, and you'll see the reason why. The tab that goes on the end of the zip is 3 inches square, and I'm going to cut that and I'm going to attach it to the marks on my zip. I've marked the bag's ends a 1/2 inch in, and this is what I use when I'm marking the ends of my zip. It's a 1/2 inch ruler, and it's probably one of the most used items in my sewing room. So we're going to go now, and I'm going to cut the ends off the zips, and I'm going to put the tabs on the sewing machine, and we're going to come back to you and show you the very important part, what you do next. Now I'm just going to trim these so they line up with the edges of the zip. Cool. The next thing we're doing is the most important part, and this is something that once you do this, you will always remember it. Put the zip face down onto the fabric, matching up your bits on the end with your lines that you drew on. So, and then we're going to put the lining. If it's got a right side and a wrong side, you'll want it right side down onto your fabric. I don't use tape and I don't use pins. I just guesstimate and get my lining onto the here is our sandwich with the outer of the bag, the zip, and the inner of the bag all nicely together. You want to pop a pin in there just to keep it from moving around. You can do that, but I'll show you as I stitch it how I keep checking it. So I'll go to the machine now and show you what we do next. I've put my zipper foot onto the machine and I've switched it so that the needle's on the left hand side, and I can feel the ridge on my zip. I'm starting the stitching at the edge of the tab. When I'm doing this stitching, I can feel the top of my zip, and I know because I've put the pin in that it's all going to be lovely and straight. Now look at that. Isn't that just a fish and chip? Okay, we're going to do the other side now. Right, so now we're putting it on the other side, remembering to match up our little drawing marks on the end, which are a 1/2 inch in. and then we'll put the lining over the top and we'll pin it, or in my case I clip it, making sure that it's all nice and even underneath. Put a pin in the middle. I can feel the ridge of the zip under here, and I know that it's all lovely. And back over here to my machine. I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a lovely press and open it all up so that you can see how the zip is sitting in there with inside the tabs at the ends, and I'm just going to trim it if it needs trimming anywhere, and just to make sure, and then I'm going to stitch along the top. That lovely. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I actually finish off this little bag. I'm going to put the zip down so that it's down at that end like that, and then I'm going to show you how I get my inside, my lining, really nice and tight. So I'm going to come back to you in a moment and show you how I do that, and then you'll find and you'll see that the bag is finished. When you're putting your bits together, push your tab towards the lining, alright? I'm going to show you how I do this so that it's all perfect. You might be wondering what the bits of funny bits of paper are on my batting. I put just a bit of tear away when I'm quilting just on the batting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, what I'm going to show you, is how I get the lining nice and tight on the inside. So I'm stitching up here, and I'm coming up to the side, and I'm going over where the tab is, and I'm going in. See that? And my bloody thread's run out. Oh, here we go. I'm stitching our bag together. Something I quite often do is I just over-sew the corners a wee bit. Whoops, probably not that much, that's right. So what I'm going to do now, thank you, I'm going to trim it and cut the corners, and then I'm going to turn it out for you to see. I'll be back. I've turned it out, I've got my tabs pushed out, and I trimmed it all on the inside, and I've just want to show you how lovely the lining looks when you make it a little bit tighter. I want to thank you all for coming along and for being able to share this with you. thank Ariane for letting me do it alongside her, and for my friends that are in Australia, we have fish and chips in New Zealand, and yes, we do like to score 6 runs when we're playing cricket. Have a lovely day. Thanks to my daughter. See ya.